All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and Waters. And boy, we got a show for you tonight. I know I say that each and every week, but this night I really mean it. I have a great show for you. Especially, I hope you gather the youngsters around tonight. If you can, we're just going to, during the segment, just bring the kids in. They really need to watch this show. The reason is, instead of doing all that texting, instead of doing all the video games, instead of driving you, the parents, crazy, they could be doing like my two young guests tonight and doing something that's fun to them, plus they're getting a name for themselves, and they're putting out a great product and they're making money at the same time. These are all good qualities to have. As you know, young entrepreneurs is what we're looking for. Our youth is our future in both hunting and fishing. So we need to invest just a little bit in those folks and get those youngsters going. And tonight we have a great success story. I say success because it already is a success. But it's just started out, and we want to widen out to our guest tonight. We have with us tonight Ryan Heilman. Is it right, Heilman?
Yes, sir.
Ryan Heilman, and he owns Ryan's Custom Lures. And what we're going to talk about tonight is custom baits that he makes, and along with him is his good friend and cohort in crime, I guess, yeah. Grant Frazier. And so Ryan and Grant, if you didn't make it to Shelbyville last weekend at the Calsonic Arena, you do not know what you missed, because these two youngsters were kind of the highlight of the show. In talking with a bunch of the guys around there, a bunch of the old guys like myself that do a lot of these shows and stuff, you two kind of caught everybody's attention, and very much so, and we're grateful for them being here. Because as you know, being bass fishermen or crappie fishermen, we're always looking for that edge, that little bit of an edge to make us even better than our competition or better than our buddy. You know, our buddies always beating us, but this weekend I'm going to beat him. If that's your mentality, then you've probably heard of what we're doing tonight, and that is talking about custom-made soft plastics, hand-poured or what they call I'm trying to say where you put it in the it's pressurized.
Injection.
Injection moldings. Well, thank you. I'm struggling there, but injection molded plastics. Well, Ryan and Grant have come up with some different looks for you tonight. Things that will float. Now, these will float. They're not heavy laden in salt and all that kind of stuff that lays them down. So these actual baits will float. You put them on a stand-up jig, you shake your head, they will entice that bite, that extra little bite that you need. So Ryan, first of all, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And Grant, good to have you on the show.
I appreciate it.
I hope y'all enjoyed the trip we had in Shelbyville at the Calsonic Arena. You guys made a lot of impressions there.
We had a blast.
It was fun.
You know, there wasn't that many people, but there was probably 1,800 to 2,000 people walked through. But y'all stayed busy.
Yeah, we did. We impressed a lot of people with our age.
Yeah, now tell everybody your age. I mean, you're
17 years old.
17 years old. Grant, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16. So we got a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old. And I got news for you. Y'all got some guys worried.
Yeah.
There were some guys there at that show. They're in their 40s. Some of them are in their 50s. And you guys are doing such a good job at 16 and 17. I told them the other day, I said, y'all wait a minute now. When these boys get to be 30, they're going to be real hard to beat, because you're already putting out good quality baits and baits that stand up in the water. They take the test of time. You've put the test to them. And talk to us a little bit about where you got them, or what kind of ideas you've got and things like that.
Well, we got so many ideas. It's just not possible to get them all out there,
right,
all at one time. But
well, you got worms, right?
We got frogs, creatures, crawls, crappie baits, pretty much everything. See, a lot of these companies, they just got one or two certain baits. That's right. That's their main product line. But we got more variety.
Now, what got you involved in this, right? Because you're the main one that you headed it up. So, and Grant's your buddy, and Grant helped you. But what made you did you just wake up one day and say, you know, I can make this?
Well, me and my dad used to fish tournaments, and we was always looking for something different. And there was some stuff that went off the market. We couldn't buy it no more. So that's where I got this idea of making my own baits. And
so did you fall into knowing somebody else that makes baits and kind of learn from them?
No, I basically taught myself how to do it all.
That's pretty blooming good to be self-taught and put this kind of quality out. And so, I mean, you get your mold, and I understand that you come up with an idea, and you get somebody to make a mold for you, right?
Right.
Okay. Then what happens with that mold?
Well,
do you inject the plastic into it?
Yeah. I mean, all of our baits are injection. This school year, I got access to a mill at school in my machining class.
Right.
So I'm going to start doing more hand pours.
Okay.
But yeah, all of our baits are injected. We inject them in the mold one by one, and I mean, we're not pulling them off a sprue that long, you know.
Right.
We can look at every bait and we're sure that it's a quality bait. Because
now what you're talking about is something like the bigger manufacturers like Berkeley or somebody. They come in and make 100 at a time.
Yeah.
Or you know, you're only getting to do how many at a time? Just one.
I do have some multi-cavity molds, but most of them are one.
Just one
cavity
at a time.
Yeah.
And how many hours in a day do you dedicate to this job?
Well, it's basically a full-time job trying to keep up.
Right.
Because, I mean, a lot of people's getting a hold of my product and catching fish on them, good fish.
Now, you're mainly flooded Gunnersville.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people down there in Gunnersville that love the baits, catch a lot of nice fish. I saw some of the pictures on your website. That's awesome, of some of those guys catching those huge bass down there. But you've got crawls, worms, lizards. You've got swim baits now. I love the frog.
Yeah.
The frog I'm in love with. And when I first saw it, I said, that's the one for me. And we're going to show that here the next 7. We're going to get up close and personal with some of these and see. But you've got creature baits. And what's in the future? What are you working on now that you might?
I'm coming out with a new buzz bait this spring for all the topwater fishermen. I mean, you got some fishermen that's in the spring, that's all they throw is topwater. And
that's right.
And I throw a lot of topwater. And
now you do have a buzz bait now, but it's got like a fluke on the back of it, or
it's an inline buzz bait.
Okay.
And then there's a fluke on the back, like a twitch. Well, I call them a twitchman, as it's my mold. But yeah, we've been having a lot of success with them around Normandy Lake.
And now I want to tell everybody he's down in Manchester, Tennessee. That's his home, and so he fishes a lot of Lake Normandy and Thames Ford. Y'all go to Thames Ford a bunch?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
But we fish Normandy. We try to just about every afternoon.
It's hard to get that work done, and you're out there fishing now.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, we got to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have look at some of these baits a little closer, so you can see the quality of what we're talking about. Hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters. This segment is being brought to you by Stan Sloan Zora Bait Company, where setting the hook is an everyday thing. This segment is being brought to you by Fate Sanders Marina. Come by and check out the jewel of Percy Priest Lake. All right, this week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. And yes, September 1st, deer season starts in Kentucky. And then the 4th Saturday of September, it starts in Tennessee. So great job. He's getting everything ready right now. Hey, our first picture, this is Brooklyn Fuquay, and she caught this bass at the dock of Cage's Bend. Look at the smile on that little girl's face. Now, I hope that little girl's watching tonight. She can get some of these soft plastics and increase the size of that bass, can't she? Yep. All right, in our next picture, 2 and 3, our second and our third picture says, check out these pictures. These are from Mason Warner. He's 11 years old from Shelbyville, Tennessee. I met Mason at the recent hunting and fishing show in Shelbyville, and this young man has extraordinary fishing knowledge for his age. He came to our booth and knew exactly what he was looking for. We discussed rods, spoons, swim baits, jigs, and hand-poured plastics. He knew what type of rod to use for each application. I was blown away by the fact that Mason knew so much about fishing. I've met a lot of young men involved in fishing. This young man is phenomenal. Tell all your buddies at fish tournaments in Middle Tennessee, look out. This guy may be taking their money soon. And I promise you that's a great, great deal. And then that was from Will Sneed, also from Sneed Products. Our next picture here, this is Kevin Consine, and he said, Hugh, I got this big cat out of Cedar Creek on Old Hickory. So he probably pulled it out from underneath that shade tree right behind him. That's probably, I know if I was a big cat, that's where I'd be. Hey, you can send your pictures to us here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219, or simply email them to me at hugh@southernwoodsandwaters.com. We'll get them on here just super, super fast. While we're talking about Faith Sanders, and this segment is being brought to you by Faith Sanders, Hoppy and I, along with Joy, went to Kentucky Lake and did a great film yesterday on Kentucky Lake. And let me tell you, we did ledge fishing, and it was at its best. We come in with about 17, 18 pounds of fish, our 5 best, and we were only out there probably about 4.5 hours, and we just had a great, great job. A lot of fun. We caught a lot of fish, but our 5 best would have been around 17, 18 pounds. So it was a good, good day. You'll be seeing that probably next week or the week after, but we'll have a show on here really, really fast for you. Now, let's get back to our guests. Here we have Ryan Heilman and Grant Frazier. They're with Ryan's Custom Lures, and what they make is mainly soft plastics. But you're getting into the inline spinners, and you're going to come out with a buzzbait this next spring. So you're dabbling in some other avenues here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, you're doing such a great job with your soft plastics. It's time for you to dabble in some other things. Hey, let's take a look at some of these baits. I wanted to show them to you a little bit and talk about each and every one. I'm going to move this down so everybody can see what we got here. But let's take a look at some of these. You want to start right here? We'll start right here on this one. This is just a great Cinco bait. And tell us a little bit about it, because it looks like 6 inch long. Is it a
6 inch?
And most Cincos are 3, 4, and 5. You made a 6.
Yep, and when you drop them in the water, they float.
Yeah.
They don't drop down like a lot of others do.
They don't sink really fast. It kind of just sits there and just takes
and that gives
with the hook. And I mean, you got to
right.
put your hook in your line size, and you got to take that into consideration. So it's dropping really, really slow, isn't it?
Right, and it gives the fish a better chance to jump on it on the fall.
Now, docks, around docks, right in front of the grass, good places to go with a Cinco. Even in wood, if you got a big treetop or something like that, you got one in there expecting it, you know he's there. You just got to entice him to bite. That's a great, great bait to use.
Yep, that's a lot of people's go-to bait. I know some guys, that's all they use.
I do too. Now we're going to get the crappie fishermen. We're going to whet their appetite just a little bit, and that is these little bitty finesse. I call them finesse, like a fluke or something, but you call it what now?
We just call it the 2.25 inch minnow.
Okay, 2.25. So it's 2 1/4 inch minnow, and then you got a little frog here that goes. Is that the frog or the tadpole?
That's the tadpole.
That's a tadpole. Look at that. He's got a tadpole here. I don't know if you can see the little tadpole right here. See the little tadpole? And then this is the minnow. All right. But you do have a little frog too.
Yeah, I got it right down here somewhere.
Well, we'll get it here in a minute. But our next one here, this is just a regular straight worm, right?
7 inch speartail worm.
Okay, 7 inch speartail worm. Floats. Great shaky head. That extra tail width right there catches that current.
Yep.
And gives it a kind of a, how you doing, big boy? Why don't you bite me?
It's got great action standing up, and like you said with current, it just moves back and forth like this.
That's right. Great bait to use. in the grass too, because it'll come through the grass. We still say use the stand-up jigs. I still like the stand-up jigs. Our buddy Terry Hobbs, you put that stand-up jig on there and flip it into that grass, it'll ease through that grass. Won't hang up quite as bad.
Right.
No.
You use a big creature bait. I don't know about you guys. You use a big creature bait. Sometimes they're great, but sometimes they get caught on everything. And so you want something a little slender. So this would work great for real thick grass then. Here's my fave, guys. This is what caught my eye from the very get-go at the show, and that is this frog. And I'm going to turn just a little bit. I want you to see that frog. That is an awesome looking frog. Of course, the hook goes in here, comes around, you spear it back through, and it's got a place on the back here for your hook just to lay into. Makes it exactly weedless.
Yeah, I mean, we took them down to Gunnersville this spring and just killed the fish on them.
I can see why. Because I'm ready to bite it now. but now this one is the 3-inch size, right?
Right.
Okay.
No, 3.5. 3.5.
I mean 3.5. I'm sorry, 3.5. And you're coming out with a 5-inch.
Yep.
Now that's going to be just the same kind of thing. It's going to be 1.5 inches longer. So 5 inches is going to be great. All right, here's one thing that a lot of people like to Carolina rig.
6.5-inch brush bug.
Brush bug, and that is an awesome looking bait. A lot of appendages on here that's going to put out quite a bit of vibration. A twin tailed back here, curly tail, that's going to give it a lot of vibration here, but a really good looking bait. It's not real bulky, so a good hook set on it with an extra wide gap hook. You're gonna drive home the steel on that one, I can tell you. So that you're gonna bring me in for a boat ride, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, and then I love this one. That is a good looking swim bait. What do you call it now?
We just got that mold. We haven't really put it out yet.
Okay.
But I've come up with a name for it, Extreme Shad.
Extreme Shad. That's a good name. A real good name.
3.5 inches.
3.5 inch. And that's mainly pretty much a standard size for freshwater, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course Alabama.
For the Tennessee rig and the Alabama rig, it's going to work out real well, isn't it? All right.
Lots of tail action on that thing.
It sure is. You can always tell. They say you can always tell if you'll stand them straight up. If you can't get that tail to stand straight up, you know it's a good plastic. So that's awesome. All right. Then we got this right here. This is a Mac Daddy of a crawfish now.
5-inch crazy crawl.
That is a big rascal.
That's a Gunnersville special.
Now you can put him with heavy weights, tungsten. You can go up to a 1 ounce and pop him right through that grass, can't you?
Yeah, that's a good bait for punching the grass.
That'll be a great bait for anything.
Anything.
You just put your weight on there to whatever you're fishing. You're gonna be fine.
You can swim topwater too.
That's right. All you gotta do is just put a hook in it. No weight. Go with weightless. Throw it out there, and it'll just sit there and flap in the water, won't it?
They make lots of noise on top of the water.
Now, you got several colors, and I want to tell everybody that's watching tonight that there's a lot of colors that you make them in, but you are a custom shop. So if a customer calls you or looks you up on the internet and says, "Hey, Ryan, you're a Grant either one. I need a pink polka dotted one," you can do it.
Make anything they want, any color.
Because there's lakes, Ryan, that are favorite color lakes. I mean, Old Hickory likes a lot of blue. Percy Priest likes red. Gunnersville likes purple. So you got some lakes that's got some real colors that they like to see and to catch fish. So if a guy calls you, say, from Table Rock, and he says, "I need something that looks like Mississippi mud, or peanut butter and jelly," or you can do it.
I can do anything.
Okay. All right, now we got this chunk right here. That's a good looking chunk right there too. Goes on behind the jigs, and that'll be a great chunk right there.
Oh yeah.
And then that's just a standard chunk. And then this is a good one that you can put behind a jig. Now I'm telling you right now, that would give a lot of action.
That's
right
a good bait on Normandy Lake.
So there you go. We've let the cat out of the bag. I thought you weren't going to do that. Grant's like, shut up.
I tell him, but
He hadn't won his first million yet, everybody. So just wait a minute. But that's a great bait, and that's a good looking color. That's got a lot of black and blue.
Yep.
So it's an awesome color. All right, hey, we gotta stop right there for just a minute. We got to do our product of the week because we're at that time, but we're gonna catch back up with it as soon as we come back. So let's go right now to our product of the week. This week's product of the week is being brought to you by Gateway Tire and Service Center. We sell tires for the way you drive. All right, welcome back, everyone, and we've got a brand new sponsor to the show of Southern Woods and Waters, and we're really proud of this sponsor, and that is Covert Cameras. They're made right here, or right above us, just a little bit, about an hour north of us here in Lewisburg, Kentucky, which is just north of Russellville, Kentucky. And if you can see, these are beautiful trail cam cameras. This one, they've got a blackened lens. They are infrared. They do put out a red glow, but this extra black lens keeps the red from showing and spooking your game animals. All right. This one here, this model right here, when it takes a picture, it emails that picture to your phone, so you can be scouting while you're sitting there watching the Titans play football. You can see what's coming across your path or your trail at all hours of the night. So great cameras, Covert Cameras. Check them out through our website at southernwoodsandwaters.com. Click on them, it goes immediately to Covert Cameras. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to open up a phone line, 737-7767. Get ready with your questions. We got the answers. This segment is being brought to you by Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back, everyone, and you can call us here at 737-7767 while you're getting those phone lines going and asking any kind of question you would like. We're going to finish it out, Grant. You and I finish out talking about what we have right here is a lizard. Well, what's the size on that one?
this right here is a 6-inch lizard. He's got the curly tail on him. The legs move. It's got great action. It's one of my personal favorites.
Great for springtime.
Great for year-round.
Year-round. Good Carolina rigging.
Oh, yeah.
But the lizard is just hated by all bass. I mean, all bass hate lizards, so they're going to kill it as soon as they see it. All right, our next one here, this is a beautiful worm right here, a ringworm.
That's our 5-inch ringworm. It has a great bubble trail, being with the rings on it. It stirs up a lot of water. It's great on the shaky head. Texas rig, Carolina rig even. It's just a good all-around bait, good for smallmouth too.
Great. We could use all the help we can on smallmouth.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got what is that, a 6-inch finesse?
Yeah, that right there is a 6-inch finesse worm. It stands up, floats. All his baits float.
Okay.
It's just
that's
good all-around bait.
That's a good-looking bait right there. That is a good-looking, and that's just a 6-inch finesse.
Right.
And then this big boy right here. My goodness. That is a 10-inch.
That's 10-inch monster tail.
Monster tail. That is a
great
bait. And I like the colors. You don't overdo the glitter. I like not overdoing the glitter.
That's my preference. Not too much glitter, but not
enough to give it some sparkle.
Right.
But not enough to take away from the major color you're trying to get out there.
Right.
I do agree. I like my baits with not quite as much glitter.
See, that's something else we was trying to do, is find a bait without so much glitter in it. It makes the bait hard, you know.
It does, and it makes it fall because it's adding weight to it, so it'll fall. It won't float quite as well.
Right.
All right, we got some callers. Let's see what we got here. Jesse, how can we help you tonight?
It's when does the gun season open in Kentucky for deer?
Gun season's going to be the Saturday before Thanksgiving in Kentucky.
Okay.
I believe it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Now they're going to have a 2-day muzzleloader hunt in October. Okay, but it's just a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah.
Does that help you out?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. We got John. John, how can we help you tonight? John?
Hello?
John, how can we help you tonight?
It's Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, how can we help you?
Yeah. Okay, fisherman.
Hey,
I was going to tell you, trying to still find them pictures about them sturgeons that I was telling you about the last couple of weeks.
yes, sir.
But we haven't promised to dig through some of those stuff, so we ain't found them yet.
Well, keep looking, Johnny. I guarantee you, TWRA would love to have those pictures.
And I went catfishing here last week, and using creek minnows. Done pretty good on catfish up there at Drake's Creek. Done pretty good.
Oh, on Old Hickory.
Yeah, on Old Hickory.
Awesome.
Believe it or not, caught a couple white cats, about 2-pounders.
Well, that's unusual.
It's unusual. Usually I don't catch them but down at Bumper's Mill.
Yeah. Now, how deep are you fishing, Johnny?
Again, 3 to 4 foot.
3 to 4 foot. So they're up shallow right now, then, aren't they?
All right, they're in the Shadow Cove, yeah.
All right.
They're
Well,
at Rock Island. All right, did I say that?
yeah, you said Rock Island now. Well, I tell you what, Johnny, we sure appreciate you, buddy.
And I want to point out a view. If you tell those big boulders to slow down a little bit for us little men,
That's right. They need to, don't they?
we took in some water off a big one. He didn't slow down nothing. But we took in some water. Good thing I got a submerged pump.
Well,
I didn't holler at him or nothing, but just tell those boulders to slow down out there, them big ones.
oh, we sure will, Johnny. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
See you soon. And Shannon, how can we help you?
Well, I see no show right now as watching the baits on the table. How y'all make those?
He's asking, how do you make these baits that you got on the table here? It's called an injection mold.
Injections, aluminum molds. It's a long, drawn-out process. I mean, you have to mix the chemical together, mix the colorant together. And
To get the right color, you got to mix the plastics and all that together,
Right.
and then you warm it up, kind of merge it all together, and then you press it or inject it into the mold itself.
yes,
And then you have to wait just a few seconds until it cools, and then you can open the mold out, and voila, you've got a
Right.
custom-made bait.
right.
All right. Well, that's great question. We got on Lucian. Lucian, how can we help you tonight?
What's up?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Just fine, sir. How can we help you tonight?
Greatest show on all the television, by golly. I believe that boy in the white shirt over there, I believe I can take him.
You gonna take him?
Yeah, I believe
Is that
I can
right?
Take
You
him.
believe he can take you?
All right then.
Yeah, I believe I can take him. Hey, look. You talking about them baits up there?
Yeah.
Boy, that's some good-looking bait right there. That big long one right there. That big one in front of you.
Yeah.
At the front of your screen, that big long one right there.
Yeah.
I bet it can catch some real big old fish right there. I tell you, does many people, Hugh, use worms anymore, Hugh?
I tell you what, that's pretty much about all I'll use.
Yep.
Is soft
Right.
plastics. Now I use
Oh,
crank.
just nobody uses worms much.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people, you're right. A lot of people are getting away from worms. I'm sticking with them. I still say there's a lot of bass out there that'll hit those big worms, and a lot of companies are, in fact, getting rid of some of their big worms, and they're going to more of a finesse bite. So you are right, Lucian, in that there's getting fewer and fewer, but. These boys and myself, we're not part of that bunch.
No.
No, you got a great show, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my friend Bobby, if you don't mind.
I don't go. You go right ahead.
Yeah, old Bobby, he was up to boy over in Burlington the other night, and I seen it.
All right. Well, I appreciate it very much, Lucian. Thank you so much. We
Have a good
appreciate
one.
that. Appreciate all those calls. We really do. And we hope that answers a bunch of them. But I wanted to talk. You've got another bait that we haven't hit, and that is that inline spinner. That's a good looking bait. That's just a really it's like a buzz bait with a shad behind it.
Right. It's something the fish ain't never seen before.
No.
It.
Now, does it kill them on Normandy too?
It's funny you brought that up.
You're giving away our
I
secrets.
can see Grant over here going,
He's
what
killing
are you
me.
doing? But I tell you what, Grant, what do you think about that? I mean,
I love it. It's out of the bag. It's a great bait. It throws a lot of water. Gets great reaction bites. I mean,
early in the morning, late
Early in the
evening,
morning,
or
late
is it all day
afternoon.
bait?
I like to throw it early in the morning myself
Oh, yeah.
and late afternoon. It's too hot right now for me to fish in the middle of the day. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you're going to use the deeper stuff, right, for the middle of the day kind
Right,
of thing.
Right.
10-inch worm.
Oh yeah.
And-
Well, I gotta say, guys, you got colors that anybody can do. So they can contact you through your website. You got
Yes.
Ryan'sCustomLures.com.
It's Ryan without an S on the end.
Okay, Ryan.
CustomLures.com.
Ryan'sCustomLures.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ryan Custom Lures. Okay, RyanCustomLure.com. And they can order. How do they do it though? I mean,
They can call me. They can email me. My email and phone number is on my website.
okay.
Just any means of contact. I mean, if somebody needs something, then I can make it up.
Now you've got, and we mentioned earlier in the show that he's got dealers, and they are down there mainly around Gunnersville.
Well,
You got some in Manchester.
I got some Manchester, Tullahoma, Winchester. I got one up in Delaware
Right.
and Gunnersville and
Now you're at Waterfront?
no, not Waterfront.
Goose Pond.
Goose Pond.
Goose Pond. I'm sorry, Goose Pond. He's at Goose Pond on Gunnersville, and you can check out these baits. That frog, I'm gonna tell you, is and you come out with a 5-inch. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we're that frog does good.
Are we gonna make it before the end of September? Because I got to go to Gunnersville.
I'm trying my best.
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. I could sure use something on edge here, because I'm fishing with some really good fishermen, and I could use that edge. But the crawfish look great. Put those on. You can put them on a shaky head jig or Texas rigging them with a weight. Now, one of the things I like to use. No, I keep. Well, I do. I like to use a tungsten weight with a tungsten bead when I'm fishing a craw, and I believe it makes that tapping noise like a crawfish with his pinchers. So it's just a great bait to use, and if you use it like that, I promise you'll catch more fish. Now, something else that we want to do, juiced up baits. It makes a really great scent. And we've been using some of Ryan's stuff with this scent. And Ryan, it does a number.
We've done it too.
I'm telling you that you can get the crawfish gel or the crawfish garlic gel. Either one of those are put on here on those craws, and it works. It works great. We need a frog gel though.
Yeah.
We got to have something that smells like
Yeah.
a frog, you know. I hadn't really stuck one up to my nose to find out. But RyanCustomLures.com, go to there, check with Ryan. If you got a custom bait that you want made, or you got a color that you want to try out, you will do it. It's really reasonable. How much are some? Let's talk about a little bit about price. The frogs are like how much? These size.
$1 a piece.
$1 a piece. So if you wanted 40 frogs, it's $40 of your color. So it's great job there. Senkos, you get a bag of, was it 6 or 8?
10 on the Cinco.
10 on the Senko. How much a bag? On
$3.50 a bag.
$3.50. So my goodness, that's great. Hey, we got to do our tip of the week. So let's go to our tip of the week right now. This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Music City, located at 3729 Highway 109 North in Lebanon, Tennessee, home of your alternative power source. All right, what I want to talk to you about is Covert Cameras. I was with Joey Dorse. He's the owner of Covert Cameras. I said, Hugh, I want to give everybody just a little bit of a tip. They can use their game cameras to really find that buck and where he's located. And I'm not just meaning put it up, check a trail, you know he's coming through at 11:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about find where he lives. And he said it's really, really easy. You need 4, preferably 4 of the cameras, but you station them in a diamond shape on trails, and you will find out which way they come in. When you find out the way that he normally comes in, move your other 2 to the other 2, so you're making a diamond move, and it's really neat how he does it. But he can pinpoint that nice buck you've been after that you think he's nocturnal all the time. He's not. You can find him pretty much coming out of his bedding area. When he goes to stretch and yawn, that's when I want to go ahead and lay it to him. So that's a great, great tip from Joey Dorse with Covert Cameras. We appreciate that. Hey, we got to take a break. When we come back, man, Joy has done it again. She mixed 2 things together and came up with a fantastic dish. I'm going to let her explain the 2 things. So hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters. This segment is being brought to you by Advanced Chiropractic, where we help America feel great, one spine at a time.
This week's Recipe of the Week is being brought to you by Broker Headquarters Group. Let our team in Camo help you with all of your real estate needs.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Boy, I tell you what, I told you Joy's done it again. Let me give you the top 2 ingredients. She said I wouldn't do it, but I will.
I didn't say.
One of them is the dip. The other one is my finger. So it is so good, I can't keep his finger out of that dip. So Joy, talk to us a little bit.
I got to tell you something. You just told on yourself. Dr. Consiglio and Dr. Fisher are watching.
Well, they know I'm just kidding. No, not really. I'll do extra.
I was going to say,
laps.
Dr. Fisher, Dr. Consiglio, turn your head and don't listen. Turn the volume down. Because it's, I just got him to taste just a little bit. That's it, just to see what it tastes like. But he's been really good on his diet. Hugh, they have people, Dr. Fisher said people have been calling her from Kentucky, one from Manchester.
That's right.
And different ones that said, you know, I want to lose weight. I want to feel good like Hugh's feeling. You've lost more.
I've lost more weight.
Well, tonight's not the time. And I tell you, guys, I just want to take and introduce my friend, Phil Robinson, good friend of ours. We met a few months ago, and you've been really working hard with us and helping us design a website with all kinds of things on it, and you're helping me with the ebook on my recipe. Instead of having to buy the book, you can download it from the website. Oh, I just love it, love it. And you do Pine Creek Archery, so that's really good. Let me tell you what it is. I did make a mistake, Hugh. I really did. I got excited today.
Yeah, you showed it to me.
Really. I got a big contract today, and I got the ingredients, and I was making a key lime pie dip, which called for fat-free sweetened condensed milk, so that's not too bad. 2 tablespoons of key lime juice and a half a cup of marshmallow fluff. I brought them. And then that's it. But I got it mixed up with the toffee recipe, so I dumped Heath Bar in it. But it is awesome.
Let me tell you something. What is fluff of a marshmallow?
This.
Can you explain the ingredients?
That was stuck on your finger way up here that you got so hard to get off.
It's like Darlene Gardner and meringue. She got a 3-inch meringue.
Phil, you got to try this. Thanks for coming, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why I'm here.
You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, family, Jeannie, Kelly, Catherine, Chris.
You'll stay in their good graces.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Hugh.
All right, you can catch this recipe along with many others on our website at southernwoodsandwaters.com. And yeah, you forget about ordering these baits. These baits are gone. These baits stay with me. They're going to Old Hickory with me tonight. Joyce said, hey, you going to sleep with them too. But I will if I have to. I'm not proud. Hey, I got to give a big, big shout out to one company that I want to highlight. They're not a sponsor yet, but I want to say big hello out there to Sloan's Motorcycle and ATV in Murfreesboro. I talked with Jeff, the service manager there, or one of the service guys there. Jeff did an awesome job, took the time to talk to me about my problem on my ATV. It was a Polaris 500, and he knew just from the way I was describing the symptoms to him, he knew what it was. Saved me around $800 from what somebody else had previously quoted me. But Curtis Sloan, met him, and Curtis is the owner of Sloan's Motorcycle and ATV. They do such a fantastic job. I really want you to know, if you need an ATV or a motorcycle or need work done, change oil, whatever the case may be, Sloan's, their saying is, don't moan, don't groan, go to Sloan's in Murfreesboro, and I'll never forget it either. And thank you very much, Curtis Sloan, and all of the fine folks that are at Sloan's Motorcycle in Murfreesboro. We sure do appreciate you. Sloan's Honda there. Great job that they all do. Thank you. And so we got the recipe and all that's gone, and I want to talk to you about, all right, we got new things coming up, this buzzbait, but anything in the soft plastics you're coming out with anymore? You got anything on the drawing board? Or
well, we got a lot of things on the drawing board.
Well, I still would like to see, and I know some people think it's crazy because you got a lizard, but I still like a salamander. I like a body, the thick body of a salamander. It's got the little longer legs, and it's got a thicker tail to it. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, if a bass hates a lizard, he's got to hate a salamander. You know,
yeah.
And plus they're full of protein, and so he's going to eat them. So they know to do that. So I think a salamander's a good thing. You know, there's a lot of other things. I would like to see even a swimming like bluegill or something like that from you, or something like that normally in the spring, you know, bluegills sit there and attack the eggs once the bass have laid them. Sometimes you can't throw a crankbait back in there where they're bedding up.
Right.
So soft plastics has to be the way to do it. Just a few little ideas, and then you got some great creature baits, but you guys are ingenious about some of these things. Y'all can do some creature baits.
Yeah, I've got some pretty good ideas.
Yeah,
I just gotta get the molds cut and make sure it's the way that we want it. And
now you test them, you and Grant both. Y'all get out there and test them, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Every afternoon.
You test them every afternoon, don't you?
I was out there yesterday testing them.
Hey, Grant's out there all the time going, you come up with it, I'll test it. Right. But Lake Normandy is one of your favorite lakes, and you tell me you fish from the bank. You just go out there and bank fish, and you catch lots of bass, don't you?
Lots of bass and big bass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people think you have to have a boat to catch big fish. Well, that's not necessarily true. You got to have the right bait.
You're exactly right, and I'm going to tell you something else too. A lot of bass see the baits coming from the shoreline out, and they don't hit them. Right. And then when they see it come the other way from the water into the shore, they hadn't seen that in a while.
Yeah, that's something different.
So it'll make a big difference, won't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we got to do our giveaway, and we have got, speaking of plastics, I've got another package of Strike King lures for you, soft plastics. It's got rage crawls and creature baits and rodents and frogs in here, the ribbit-like frogs. Please go ahead and give us a call. Be the 5th caller, 737-7767. We'll get you fixed up with a nice little package for you to take home with you now. So hurry back with more of Southern Woods and Waters. This calendar of the week is being brought to you by Drycon Carpet Cleaning. Give us a call or visit us online at drycon.com. All right. Well, congratulations go out to Michael Whitaker from Springfield, Tennessee. You're a proud winner tonight of our prize package. Hey, listen, what's going on right now? Starting, well, it's already started. Bass Pro Shops is having their Fall Hunting Classic. That's going on all this week until the 19th of August. But, hey, tomorrow evening, Moi is going to be at the Bass Pro Shops Opera Mills doing 3 seminars back-to-back, one at 6, one at 7, and one at 8. How they got me is beyond me. I don't know. I guess I didn't have anything to do. But, no, I'd rather be hanging out with all my good friends down at Bass Pro Shops, to be honest with you, talking about hunting, trying to get your buddies ready for the upcoming hunting season. We'll be talking about scent elimination, all that kind of good stuff that's going on tomorrow night. Also, we've got going on right now, we have the Land and Wildlife Show that's going on at Opryland Hotel in the Convention Center. That is being brought to you by Bass Pro Shops also. So they've been real busy at Bass Pro Shops trying to get things ready for each and every one of you. This weekend, Saturday, we got Old Hickory Bass Anglers is going to go out of Bulls Creek. That is Reed Durham's tournament. And if you've never been to one of Reed's tournaments, you need to go because Reed really puts on a fantastic tournament. The least I've heard of anybody of all the entries was 88. They had 88 boats. It was the smallest tournament he's had already this year. Most of them are in the 100s. But that goes from Safe Light till 2 on that one. And then, let's see, next Saturday, August 18th, the Middle Tennessee Crappie Club's got a lake of choice. You can contact Randy Clark, 970-433-0791. And the Old Hickory Bass Tournament Trail is going out of Old Hickory Lake, out of Lone Branch. That is Mike Boland, and you can go visit him at 596-4582. He is going from 5:30 to 1:30. And then Sunday, August 19th, Music City Bass Anglers, we're going to be headed to Cheatham. So we're going to do that. And then also Sunday, August 12th, that's this Sunday, Pine Creek Archery Club is having their tournament out at Hendersonville at Rockland Recreation Park. We got about 30 seconds here. I want to say thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much for coming out and sharing all the lure designs. I tell you what, to be 17 and come up with this is pretty impressive.
Well, thanks for having me, and we try our best.
And Grant, you're a great bodyguard for Ryan, and you do a good job testing this stuff. We will see. Make sure you wear your personal flotation device. We'll see you next week right here on more Southern Woods Water.